I'm Tremmell Darden, Sr. I was born in Inglewood, California, United States. I haven't been here long enough to really get familiar with certain spots, so I'm still trying to learn the city and be familiar with where surroundings are. When I was in high school, Penny Hardaway was one of my favorite players, and Larry Johnson in the 90s, and I try to say I was a combination of both. Growing up, Michael Jordan is my all-time favorite and Kobe Bryant is my all-time favorite. But these two were in the league before Kobe got in, and Jordan had retired for a little bit. So I just combined the numbers, 1 and 2, and I used to wear 12, but I think 21 fit better. When I went to Madrid, I couldn't get 12 because Niko Mirotic had 12, so I just flipped it and got 21. Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. When it comes to the game of basketball, Jordan's number 1, Kobe's number 2. Kobe passing earlier this year. I felt like a family member. I never met him, but a lot of his mentality and the way he approached the game between him and Jordan, I try to combine both of those two. And listening to what they said and what I heard as a young kid hearing Jordan and then Kobe when I got into high school, that's why I try to emulate those guys as far as basketball is concerned. Jesus Christ. I'm a big believer in Jesus, deep follower, devout follower, and I just try to live a Christ-like life in everything I do. Love being the motivation behind all that I do, and just caring about people and being my best to help when I can. Kobe, or Jordan. It would be either one of those two. Both of them reached the pinnacle of what they tried to do in their career. Both were successful on and off the court. And just to see the grind that they have to deal with. We saw a little bit in The Last Dance of what Jordan had to deal with, but I think the average person, we don't really understand the grind that a superstar athlete and or celebrity actor has. So I would love to see what life would be like to be in their shoes for one day and see if I would be able to handle it or if I wouldn't. To be a professional basketball player, I didn't be specific as far as saying an NBA player, but God opened my heart and the dream was achieved. I've been a professional basketball player much longer than most people ever do, and never would have thought I would have, so I'm thankful for that. A willingness to listen and learn and understand that you don't know it all. We're always learning, you're always developing, things change. Each child you have to parent different. You want to understand your kids' tendencies. You want to understand what makes them go and ways to motivate them and ways to discipline them. And also having a good partner to share that with. My wife. My wife is very instrumental and really key, the central, part of our family. And without having her input, her guidance, her rationale, her being there makes life and things easier for me and help me make better decisions as far as being a father and a husband. She'll probably say I'm very once I lock in on something, that's kind of what it is. I'm real, I don't know the word that I'm looking for. Probably I can go to tunnel vision. If it's something that I set my mind on, that becomes something that I try to do. I kind of block everything else and I just kind of circle in on that. And it's a strength and it's a weakness at times too, because once I go into that mode, I'm not really willing to hear and or listen as easy as I should be. We are the champions. I love hearing that. In a situation where, he says it's a do or die situation and that we come out victorious, then I would like to play that. I like Chinese food and I like Mexican food. I probably would say overall, I would like some short ribs, cooked with nice roasted short ribs in a crock pot, some mashed potatoes, some nice vegetables, probably greens, and macaroni. That's overall, if I go back home, my mother asks me for a meal to make, I always say, can you make short ribs? So short ribs, mashed potatoes, some greens, and some macaroni. Baked chicken. I actually made some last night. And it's the first time I've made it in couple months, because in Vegas you don't really want to bake anything because it's so hot. So you leave the oven alone. But last night I baked some chicken. My boys like my baked chicken. My wife doesn't bake chicken anymore. She says I do the baked chicken. So baked chicken, I think, is my best dish. I communicate, I talk a lot. I talk a lot when I have something to talk about. If it's something that I don't have to talk about, then I'll mind my business and I'll be quiet. But, you know, I told you I do a lot of spiritual studying in the Bible. So outside of the court, you know, and I take a lot of interest in my children and what they do. But if it's something I'm interested in, I try to get informed on it and I speak on it as much as I can. We went on a cruise, the last vacation that I can remember. Well, last summer, the summer of 2019, my wife and I went to Greece. Now, we were there on business, but it ended up turning into a small mini vacation between her and I. And it was a nice time. We was in Athens again, and I played in Olympiacos, so we was in Glyfada, and we just had a nice 3-4 day trip out there to handle some business, but it just turned into her and I enjoying each other's company, going to eat, enjoying the beach, and just her and I relaxing. So last summer in Greece. This is gonna sound crazy, but if I could, I would go to the moon. I know they have money now. If you said unlimited money, I would want to see what it would be like traveling to the moon. Now, my wife doesn't like that. She doesn't agree with that. But if I could, I would do that. As far as being here, I would say I've been wanting to go to Dubai. I've never been to Dubai. I want to go to Dubai. And that's something that I think before I retire, I want to try to do. Take the family to Dubai and just enjoy Dubai. My family. The last picture that we took together, actually, in quite some time, was the Sunday before I left. I left on Tuesday. That Sunday, I was in a tournament in Utah with my kids, and after the tournament, we all took a picture, and it was the first time that all of us was in it with my recent newborn son. So it was the first time that all 5 of us was in it, and my godson was in it as well. So it was a really nice picture. That's on both of my phones, lock screens. I don't use emojis. If I use it with my wife, it's as a joke, but normally you could go through all my social media, you won't see an emoji on there. If it was me being funny towards my wife. So I didn't even have my brother put the emoji stuff on my phone. I don't really do emojis. Saxophone. I love how it sounds when it's played properly. It has such a smooth glow, and I actually played saxophone in the 4th grade and 5th grade. So